all oil reserves in the world. I think that fact cannot be dismissed. With the CCT technologies in the next 10, 20 years, I'm quite hopeful on a national level. I can't say for California, but certainly hearing what I do, I would like to say that it has a future that's on the positive slope.
Okay, one last very quick question, and this has to do with the energy building conservation. This individual's company produces software for Title 24 and wants to know how to get additional information about the regulation of building energy conservation.
I think that question has already been answered, and I have the gentleman's card, I believe. So I think that problem is solved. Let me just make one comment on that, though. We have approved new regulations. In order for them to become official, the stamp of approval must be put upon them by the Building Standards Commission, and they have yet to hear our case, and there will be interveners, namely the builders.
All right, well, I'd like to, at this point, ask for a round of applause for our panelists. I think that they did a fine job of presenting many of the important aspects of energy policy and clean air issues. I'd like to thank those of you who stayed not only to the bottom of the ninth, but into extra innings. And with that, I'll conclude our session. Thank you very much.
I like to just check.
Recognized today, sitting in our audience. Before we do that, I'm going to turn over the podium to President Shearer, who will describe the particular program they're being recognized for.
Well, thank you very much, Don. I think we're achieving a very significant milestone today for the Power Engineering Society, and it has to do with engineering education. One of the great concerns we've had in the area is the growing shortage of qualified faculty members in the area of power systems engineering. An independent independent organization has been formed on a nonprofit basis, the Engineering Foundation, to be able to help deserving students go on to their PhD and, in fact, develop a forgivable loan program where for every year that they receive assistance, if they teach 1 year, they can have that part of the loan forgiven. I think it's important that the Power Engineering Society today is being able to announce a very significant gift to start this Power Engineering Education Foundation off and to select our first 2 award recipients here today. As you know, the Power Engineering Society, through its meetings department, has had a very successful T&D conference and exposition. And as a result, we've had some substantial funds that we had some discretionary activities in which we could put, in our view, what would be important use of those funds. And as a result, we're contributing $50,000 to the Power Engineering Foundation. And 2 students are with us today who will be the first recipients of these awards. The first is Shelley Starrett. She's a graduate student at Iowa State University. And Larry Trussell is the second, a graduate student at Mexico State University. Shelley will pursue her PhD at Iowa State, and Larry will study at Virginia Polytechnic Institute. The awards will be for $25,000 a year, and as I said, they're forgivable if they stay on in teaching in power engineering. So I think it's an important milestone for the society. Many others are going to be contributing to continue to fund this operation over the years ahead, but I think it'll give us a good start in replacing some of those in power engineering education who will be retiring, and make sure we have a very competent group of people to teach our future engineers and future leaders. So with that, I'd like to ask both Shelley Starrett and Larry Trussell to step up and be honored as the first recipients of this particular award and program. Shelley and Larry, where are you? Back over here. I'd just like them both to stand here for a moment. I think it's significant that they are moving on in the PhD level in power engineering education, and perhaps they both might like to say a word or two before we call it a day. Shelley, would you like to start?
First of all, I'd like to thank Edison Electric Institute and the Power Engineering Education Foundation for making this award possible, and thank all the sponsors as well. And I'd like to say that I plan to do my part to make this program successful for an industry standpoint as well as a university standpoint. I also would like to say that I hope a lot of other students will get the opportunity to be where I am right now. Thank you.
I have to start off by thanking my mom and my fiance for all the support that they've given me. My professors, Dr. Ronaday, Dr. Smolak, and especially Professor Kirsting for all the leadership they've given me the last 5 years. It's been noted there's been a declining number of power engineering students and declining interest in power engineering. And the new engineers need to know, as all of you know, that they've been chosen to lead our nation and to build our nation. And they should be proud of that and proud of the responsibility that they've been given. So very soon, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that I can send the finest young electrical power engineers into your industries and into your universities that this country's ever seen. I can't promise anything, but I can promise that I'll try my best every day to return to the United States the confidence that the Power Engineering Society has given me today. Thank you.
We don't have a plaque to give them, but they'll be getting a few checks, which I think will probably be more helpful. Well, I think we've come to the end of our program today. We've had a number of outstanding honorees and awardees. And I thank you all for coming, and we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning at the general membership meeting. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Steve. You really did. I didn't even see that.
Fooled you, boy.
Geez, I didn't even see it on the program. You know,
Diego group who in fact put it together, and as you could guess, there's an awful lot of work not only in putting this luncheon together, but all the other activities that go on during the week through this 4-day meeting. What I'd like to talk to you about a little bit today, though, is I think a very important program, and I have a very fine duty to undertake here today, and that's to present a couple of checks, which I'll tell you what they are. It turns out that one of the concerns we've had in power engineering is the lack of power engineering faculty. We have many professors who, in fact, are retiring, either have or will in the next few years, and we felt we would like to do something as an industry, this is not just the Power Engineering Society, to do something about that. As a result, through the efforts of an industry trade organization, through the Power Engineering Society, and a number of other groups, that formed the Power Engineering Foundation. And this foundation basically is in business to encourage the development of PhD students in the power engineering and encourage them to stay on and teach. And the method by which we have undertaken to do this is through what's called a forgivable loan program. It's a combination of that and some scholarship money, but fundamentally what it says is that if you, for example, take 4 years of education to get your PhD, you can have the loan which you've been given refunded if you teach for 4 more years. In other words, for each year you can get the loan forgiven. So it's a powerful incentive, I think, A, to be able to get people to undertake the PhD program in electrical engineering and power engineering, and also then to stay on in teaching, at least for some period of time, and provide faculty, hopefully a lifetime of faculty, but nevertheless at least for some years, to augment the ranks of those teaching in the field. The Power Engineering Society has contributed a substantial sum of money to that foundation. As a matter of fact, we contributed $50,000. We've been lucky in a way in that we have a very successful transmission distribution conference, the next one of which is a little over a month from now in Dallas. But basically it's a big exhibit, big attendance, and we make a substantial sum of money by, in fact, selling exhibit space to manufacturers who do it. As a result, we've had some funds to be able to do some of these things, and we thought supporting education was certainly a very worthwhile effort. And as a result, the Power Engineering Society has contributed $50,000 to that foundation. And the first 2 recipients of those forgivable loans happen to be here today. One is Shelley Starrett. She's a graduate student at Iowa State University. And Larry Trussell, who is a graduate student at New Mexico State University. Shelley is going to pursue her PhD at Iowa State, and Larry will study at the Virginia Polytechnic Institute in Blacksburg, Virginia. And they are here today, and I would like them both to come up if they could at the moment. And I have something to hand to them, and then we'll let them say a word or two before we let them sit down again. Shelley and Larry, I think you'll find inside this packet checks, I think, in the amount of $12,500 as a down payment, which is not an unappreciable sum. If it's not in the packet, I understand we're also going to give you instructions on how to stay one step ahead of the Internal Revenue Service. It gets to be very complicated to give money away or to loan it these days. But in any event, let me give you yours, Shelley. And Larry, congratulations, and you can say a few words if you like.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank the Power Engineering Education Foundation, all of its sponsors, and all the people who worked to get it together so fast. And I'd like to say I'm looking forward to the future, my future in power engineering. I think there's a lot of exciting problems out there to work on. And I look forward to training new students and working with industry on research topics. And I hope to see a lot more students in my place in the future. Thank you.
Well, I've been thinking about this award a lot, and a lot of things have happened really fast since I started in the power engineering field. But one thing that I really want to stress is that I'm really no smarter or brighter than any other young person in the United States today. Thanks to teachers and family support and school support, I succeeded into high school, and thanks to dedicated adults and volunteers, earned the Eagle Scout Award. And thanks to an industrial company, I was sent to college to earn a BS degree in electrical power engineering. And in the meantime, I spent 4 enjoyable summers working out in the hot sun building power lines. And thanks to all the professors who lead such a stressful life by undergoing all the pressures of producing research results, but still have as much time as is necessary to give to the students. Thanks for the Power Engineering Education Foundation for giving me this honor. But I still have to remember that I'm not such a special person. I've worked hard, but I've had lots of incentive and lots of encouragement. And if we are concerned about power engineering interest, and if we're worried about the industry, and if we're concerned about the United States, then we need to encourage more young people. And if we perceive the country as falling apart, then we just have to sit back and realize that drugs and sex and all the bad things that are supposedly happening in the United States today aren't any better than they were 50 years ago. And education isn't any worse today than it was 50 years ago. What is in the decline right now is encouragement. Maybe we're all so busy climbing and stomping and spending that we're leaving people behind. Maybe we're leaving behind all the Beethovens and the Faradays and the Einsteins. We're leaving them out of society. If we don't work right now to encourage the youth to use their talents and skills to build this country and society, we may find ourselves meeting on the 24th floor of the Marriott next year with 23 empty floors below us. The Power Engineering Society has charged Shelley and I to produce great power engineers. And you can bet that we're going to try our hardest every day to produce the best power engineers this country has ever seen. So please, ladies and gentlemen and students, help us by working hard to build this great nation that you have already built upon. Give your daughters and sons and your parents and other family members an extra hug tomorrow. Go and share your experience and your expertise with the schools. Have your company or sponsors give to Girl and Boy Scout troops and give to other youth functions. Create and advertise scholarships. Open summer jobs for power engineers. Involve your young engineers in programs such as this summer power meeting. And please become a sponsor of the Power Engineering Education Foundation. And let's give the youth of this great nation the encouragement they need to become high-quality power engineers of the future. Thank you all.
Well, thank you very much, and I can see, you can all tell we're off to a good start. We hope to continue this on through the coming years. So thank you again. Terry?
I'd like to also welcome you here today. It's great to see so many of you.